Have you already closed successfully a commodity deal? Have you already purchased and sold and made a little bit of money in between any commodity or raw material? Could be copper ore like this, and this is a sample that I got from a mine, or could be more niche product like wood pellet, any commodity, any raw material. Have you already closed successfully a deal? If you haven't, please watch this video to the end because I'm going to explain why it's so difficult for you to close your first deal and what you need to improve to get to the crossing line. Sounds good? So let's jump on the computer. Closing your first commodity deal. Cold truth, hard truth, dark truth. I don't know, I need to find a catchy title for this YouTube video. Anyway, so let's dive in. So closing your first deal is very difficult. You need to spend a lot of money because you probably need to travel, you need to meet new people, you need to go to remote location. Maybe you don't really have a template of a contract, so you need to speak with a lawyer. You don't really know what type of documents you need to export, import the goods, so you need to speak with a bunch of freight forwarder or a bunch of consultants that will ask for money. I mean, this is very, very difficult to close properly your first deal. But for some people, this is not the case. There are some people like that guy that just got a call and, close a deal like this. But there are other people like you that just run away, are very tired, is running out of the money, doesn't know what they do with their life, and they're just completely exhausted trying to chase their first commodity deal. So what is the difference between those two people? Let me explain. Look at this beautiful chart that I've made. So there is something that you need to understand. Your first deal is going to be the deal that required the most energy from you. This is the one that you really have to put everything that you have, your complete soul into it. This is the one that, definitely requires the most time and the most energy. But then all the subsequent deals are going to require a bit less of energy, a bit less of energy, a bit less of time, and everything are starting to run smoothly. Yeah, I don't know if smoothly is the term for physical commodity trading, but everything will be much more easier for sure. And there arrive even a time where if you become so successful, if you become known in your little commodity niche, you'll see that the energy is going to become even negative. So that means that deals are going to come to you. I know it must be very weird to to even believe for some of you that this is possible, that deals come to you, but I can tell you that some deals come to me, but it requires a lot of time, a lot of energy before that to make yourself well known on the marketplace. So now that we have seen that, the first one is the most difficult. Why aren't you closing any deals? Seriously, do you think about something? Do you have an idea? Why do you think you can't close? So you are not closing deals because you don't know how to. Honestly. It sounds freaking simple when I say it like this, but it is. This is what a famous guy said on the internet. I think he's Alex Hormozy. He said, the fact that you don't know how to make $1 million is costing you $1 million every year. But if you think about it, he's completely right. If you don't know how to make this amount, it costs you this amount every year. So, and here, this is the same principle with a commodity deal. If you don't know how to conclude a deal, if you don't know what a deal looks like, how can you make one? I mean, I still have some people on my courses that, despite everything that I said, they are still thinking that you need to send a LOI, you need to send a proof of fund. If you don't know what a deal looks like, effectively, you won't be able to close any deal. So that's the first point. How do you know what a deal looks like? Let's see. The fact that you have to run in circles, that you need to sweat a lot to close your first deal, it's like a video game. You need to level up your character. You need, as a person, to become a commodity trader. And this is not easy. Even though it sounds simple, or I need to buy something for 100, I need to ship it, and I need to sell it for 105. Okay, sounds that simple. But you need to acquire skill set. You need to level up as a character in order to close this first deal. So there's 3 main parameters that you need to acquire if you want to close your first deal. And those parameters, as long as they are low, it's almost impossible for you to make money. But the fact that you are running around, that you are calling people, that you are reading stuff about a specific commodity makes you level up in some sense, like in a video game. And when your 3 parameters are high enough, then you'll be able to close a deal. Is it clear? You want to know the 3 parameters? Yeah, we'll see. So here's another way to represent visually what I'm trying to explain with my broken English. So you are like this guy here, and you need to climb your way up to your first deal. But the problem is you don't have those 3 parameters high enough to close your first deal. So that means that you don't have enough skill set. Maybe you don't know how to negotiate. You don't know the Incoterms properly. Maybe you just read it, but you have no idea how to apply them. Maybe you don't know the vocabulary of your commodity. So when you speak with a proper buyers, I mean, you can see that you just don't know what the shit that you're talking about. Maybe you don't have enough network. Obviously, to close deal, you need to have a network. Or maybe you don't have the belief that you can do it. And if you don't have the belief that you can close your first deal, then you will never close your first deal. So the fact that this first deal is so difficult is, in a sense, a way for you to get those 3 characteristics high enough for you to level up to be able to close your first deal. So let me explain what those 3 characteristics are a little bit better. So skill set. When I say skill set, this is everything that you need to know to close a deal. So it's knowledge, abilities, experience. So for instance, a skill would be negotiation. How do you negotiate? Knowledge will be your knowledge about the commodity, about the quality of the commodity, about the supply and demand. Okay, let's speak about like something like vanilla. Of course, the biggest producer is in Madagascar, but do you know where are the other producers? Do you know the price of the other producer? How well do you know your market? How well do you know the buyers? I mean, if your knowledge is low, because I can tell you, I speak with a lot of you guys, and you don't know about the commodity that you want to trade. Seriously, you don't know. I'm not even sure that you read some online about it. So if you don't know about your commodity, how do you want to close a deal? Maybe in the future, when you have like 10 years, 20 years of experience, you can close a deal without knowing about the commodity. For sure. We call it like document trading. You only trade document specification and that's it. But man, you are not at that level yet. So learn about your commodity. Maybe you don't even know the operations. Maybe you don't even know the documents that you need to provide to export or import. Man, I spoke with a lot of people. They have no idea what they are doing. This is the skill set that are required for you to close your first deal. And one important thing is if you are a bit entrepreneurial, you can say, I can fake it. And then when I need to know, I will learn. Yeah, sure. But the problem with that is when you speak with someone that has been in the business for 20 years and they can see that you don't really know, you don't use the right terms, you don't really know what you're talking about, man, it's over. The deal is tank. Then network. Of course, it's very important to develop a network. Commodity trading it's a relationship-based business because at the end of the day, everyone is selling at the same price. Everyone is selling with the same payment terms. So what is going to reduce the risk is the relationship that you have with your counterparty. So it's very important to develop a new network. And one important sentence here is mutually beneficial relationship. Mutually. You know what mutually means? It's been for the 2 people. So don't think that developing your network is just pinging people, asking for time to speak, asking to pick your brain or like this. This is not beneficial for the other person on the side. This is like all those guys that hit me up and say, hey, Damien, I have an opportunity, something that we can do together. And basically the opportunity always looks like that. I need to finance a deal. I need to find a buyers, but they kind of know a supplier. Whoa, what a nice opportunity. It seems like it's an opportunity for you, but not really for me. So yeah, develop your network. It means a mutually beneficial relationship. And you know, if you put like 5 minutes of brain power to try to guess what the other person would be interested in, you can pretty much always find out, especially right now with internet. And the last point is the most important is belief. You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in what you are doing. And because if you don't believe that you can make it, then you will just quit on the way because it's too difficult. Emotionally, it's very, very difficult to put a lot of time, a lot of money in something and you don't see any positive feedback. So if you don't believe in what you are doing, you will just quit. And maybe you are quitting like 1 week before closing your first deal. So belief is extremely important. So now Now that I've said all of that, what is one thing that you can do to improve all those 3 characteristics? There is one thing that you can do to improve all 3 of them at the same time. And yeah, so what is it? This activity is calling people. Yeah, I know, sounds completely insane, especially for those of you that are below 28 years old, maybe below 25. You don't even know that this thing can call. You know, you send like a voice message. This is awful. You can't send a voice message. Okay? So you need to call people, because with calling people, you will be able to increase your skill set. You will be able to speak about the market with new people. You will be able to develop your network. And also by getting people on the call, you will develop the belief that you can do it. Because to believe in something, you need to see some type of improvement. So when you call with people, of course, it's very, very difficult. Of course, there is a lot of people that would just close the phone and don't want to speak with you. But some of them will speak with you, especially if you want to discuss about their job. You know, there is something which is quite true. It's like when you deal with any type of commodity, you sell commodity, you buy commodity, and so on. When you get home, do you really think that their wife wants to hear about their at work, the issue that they have with the copper, with aluminium, with oil? No, of course no. No one gives a about that. You know, when you ask a genuine question, people tend to answer. So I know that calling strangers is very, very difficult at the beginning if you've never done that. And right now I've run few bootcamp, and this is always the part that people don't do. They don't call. When I say, okay, now you have the list of people that you need to call, you have the lead, it's time to call, they don't do it. So I don't know what is wrong with you. I think it's because the fear of rejection is so high. But seriously, man, you need to call. There is one guy, one little quick story. I don't remember his name, but it was one guy from Senegal. I called him like 2 years straight just to try to sell something to him. And he insulted me like half of the time. But you know what? After 3 years, no, I didn't close him. No, I didn't make it. After 3 years, I met him in a food fair. And I said, oh, I'm the guy that I've been calling. He said, man, I don't know what you said, but you need to stop calling. I will not buy from you. And then I understood why he was not going to buy from me, because he had some type of agreement. But yeah, that's not actually a good example. But I'm pretty sure that if I think it true, there are some people that have been calling for 2 years straight to get a deal done. I'm pretty sure about that. Anyway, but my point is, you need to be persistent, you need to be relentless, otherwise you won't succeed in that field of work. So yeah, now it's up to you. I just explained to you, there's 3 characteristics that you need to level up if you want to close your first deal. There's your skill set, general skill set in sales, in marketing, in negotiation, in understanding the commodity that you want to trade. This is a bunch of skill set that you need to level up. Of course, you can read about it. You can read report on the internet and so on. But at the end of the day, this is like doing push-up, you know. You can read everything about push-up or swimming. It's even better. You can read everything about swimming, but if you don't throw yourself in the pool, you'll never learn to swim. So this is the same. Call people. Then network, same thing. Reach out to people on LinkedIn, call people, develop your network, and always try to think what you can bring to the other people on the side. Quick note about that. Usually buyers and sellers don't need new buyers and sellers. So that means that a buyer of commodity will have maybe 3 suppliers that they know they've been doing business for 10 years. They don't want a new one. The same with sellers. You know, if this is a good seller, he's fully committed. So that means that it's going to be quite difficult to buy from him, and he's not going to need a new buyers. New buyers mean new headache, means new compliance, means new risk. So it's tough. But again, you need to persist if you want to make it true. So develop your network, and when you reach out to people, try to think what you can give them, or what can be a little thing that you can say that might be interesting for the other people on the side. Last point, belief. You need to believe that it's possible, that you can close your first deal. You need to believe in yourself. And this is why sometimes the very, very young people, you know, they haven't been beaten so hard by the life. So they have a completely irrational belief in what they can achieve. And this is why they succeed. So if you lost the belief that you can do it, there's nothing I can do for you. Anyway, so that's it for me today. I hope that you like the video. Please comment below what you think about this video. Am I missing something? Am I not? What do you think about it? And yeah, I'll see you next week. Ciao.